when you have a flare come in, it's a bit like allergic reaction mixed with a bad flu, and you've just ran a marathon, so you're knackered, and you've also been in a car crash, so you're hurting everywhere. That's what it feels like right now. Pain is probably about 6 out of 10, so it's not the worst I've had. I've had way worse, but it's like a dull ache, and then I've started getting really itchy everywhere. Like I've got bugs under my skin everywhere, and then I've got runny nose, suddenly gone all stuffy. My eyes are starting to get sore. I'm starting to get all puffy. I look absolutely insane again. There's no way of looking good when you're poorly. There's just not. And that's depressing. Excuse me. I don't know if I've ever filmed it, actually, but the reason, if you ever see me do it, the reason why I pull on my nostrils to breathe, I've got no nose, believe it or not. So, well, I have. You can see the skin. I've got no skin. I don't have most of my nose bone. So I had my nose broke once and it got broke again. Pretty bad. You can't tell at the moment, but it went off to one side. I was Stevie Fry, not Stephen Fry. I was Stevie Fry, and I couldn't breathe. And I went to go get my nose fixed, and well, 3 hours later, I woke up apologising because I fell asleep. I fell asleep because I'd had anaesthetic. But I woke up apologising to nurses, completely different nurses. They didn't know what was going on. And then I wondered why my jaws were hurting so much. And they said they were trying to take me pipe out, my windpipe, at the end of it. And apparently I clamped down on it with my jaws. I didn't want them to take it out, apparently. But when I was talking about it, feeling like being at pub and all, I was like, I were in a good place. But when I come to, and they took all it, they're like, it won't stop bleeding for days. I was in overnight and I kept telling them it was all over me, and they'd left me there for hours covered in my own blood in the middle of night, early hours of morning. And I was getting really annoyed. I was trying to eat dairy sandwiches, cheese bread sandwiches. I was getting it all over me because I couldn't even tell. And when they come to take, they're like tampons. And you don't realise how big they are. Bro, I didn't know all that were up there. I didn't know. And that next minute, there's these massive fucking... I did ask if I could keep them. He looked at me in disgust and he was like, no. All right, fair enough. All right. But it weren't till like weeks after I'd had the cap took off. The splints that they'd put in my nose, they were like bits of plastic that they'd snapped in half to make like an A shape, and then they'd they sew through your nose. So what I had was a rhinoplasty and a septoplasty, right? Just to try and make it so I could breathe again. And they put these things up your nose and sew through your septum, basically. But these things were shifting and they were very sharp and they were going into the very tip of my nose and cutting into my nose. Got to a point where I couldn't drink or eat or talk because it was that embedded into my nose that any sort of movement was just making it worse. So I went and got those out early, which is why that bit, one side is hard to tell, but one side is different shape to other. Anyway, wasn't until I had all of that out and I had my cap off that I could feel what they've done. There's file lines here, 2 file lines. I've got like, it goes all the way through. like there's a hole here. I have a dolphin spout, but it's got skin over the top of it, so it doesn't work. But I've got one file line there, and then I've got another one about there, and then we get to there, and my nose stops. Look, nothing at all. Nothing. I'm Voldemort. But yeah, it hasn't helped my breathing at all because I don't have a nose. I thought they was just going to straighten it because it was S-shaped. No, apparently they just gave up halfway through and thought, fuck this. And they took my nose. I'd have liked to have kept it in a jar or something. I don't know why they keep taking bits off me and not giving it me back. So yeah, I've got the skin flap, and if it's extremely windy, you might catch a glimpse of it going woo. But I still can't breathe because there's no integrity in my nose anymore, which means sometimes I need to open my nostrils manually to breathe. So that's good, isn't it? I could do with me spout. That's what I could do with. Extra nostril up here. That'd help when I feel crap. Do you know, the only way to get through feeling crap is to laugh. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's just really fucking bad, and you can't laugh about it, and you can't even scream or shout. You can't even fucking cry, or you do all those things, and it don't fucking matter anyway. But today's one of them where I just feel sick, very lethargic, exhausted, achy all over. A little bit like there's a cold, but it's not a real one. And bugs under my skin. So that's where I'm at. So I've retreated. And I can't get warm again. So I've retreated. I've had one good day this week where I could do stuff, which is frustrating. But it is what it is, isn't it? So, you know. Also, the only Aquaman that counts, the shit original one. That's the only one that matters. And don't come at me with your lawnmower man. I'm not interested. He's a good looking man, but I'm not interested. I want the shit one. I want the shit original that rode dolphins. That's what I want. I'm pretty pissed off that I've only had one good day this week. I've managed to tidy up and put everything back in the pantry, but I'm annoyed. But I've got electric blankets on and I've had eating on. And I don't need to worry because I've done all my food and everything is clean. And so I'm just going to do nothing now. And try and figure out how to get rid of feeling itchy. I have to have another antihistamine. We will see. But yeah, body. What's it look like from the side? Can you see? Wait a minute. Is it? Huh? You see? Voldy Steve. I can't breathe properly now. I've flattened it too much. Also, I've got a lump on my head here. Permanent lump from and a scar. Permanent damages left from when I crashed a pedal bike. Things happen to me. I am miserable that I'm poorly today, but I'm also just trying to laugh about stuff because you have to, don't you? You know? if it's not a good day for doing jobs, then, well, it must be a good day to show off. My Voldemort knows. Yeah, hope everyone else has a good day. Hope they're being more productive. And their nose is intact and they don't have to manually flare their own nostrils to breathe. And if you don't need to do any of that, well done you. Good for you.